Cześć, przyjaciele. That is hey friend in Polish, I hope. And as you have probably already heard, I am moving to Poland in March of 2019. I've got some letters that are going to be coming in the mail in the next few days, but rather than write you a novel, I thought maybe taking 4 to 5 minutes in a video and being able to explain why I'm doing this and kind of how God has brought me to this decision would be kind of cool. So thank you for taking the time to listen. It started in June of 2013. I'd been on staff at Mission Hills for a few months when my friend Tony asked me if I would help him lead the Mission Hills youth group as they partnered with Josiah Venture in Poland to teach an English camp. I didn't really put any thought or prayer into it. I just kind of said, yeah, that sounds like fun, and I went. And it was rough. It was a really hard 2 weeks for me. I struggled with connecting with the Polish people. I struggled with bringing my guard down and really understanding the heart behind what Josiah Venture is doing in Poland. And I came back to Denver and I told people I love what Josiah Venture is doing, but it's not for me and I'm never going back to Poland. God has a sense of humor, clearly. And 2 years later, my same friend asked me, kind of somewhat last minute, if I would be interested in helping him lead the same trip with the youth group. And I laughed at him. I just said, why would you want me to go to that? You were there 2 years ago. You saw how bad I was. But thankfully, he persisted. And I began to pray. I just asked God, like, please just don't let me stand in your way like I did 2 years ago. Help me to make connections and get behind this vision of Josiah Venture of making disciples out of disciples. And it was one of the biggest answers to prayer I've ever been a part of. It was a completely different trip for me. I really fell in love with Poland, with the Polish youth group, and with Josiah Venture's heart for the Polish youth. And I've gone back 2 times since then, so 4 times in all. And each time, God has just tied my heart a little tighter to Poland. This last trip, I went in October of 2017. I actually got to be a part of 2 different ministries in Poland besides the English camp. But each one just showed me that what they are doing over there is something that I wanted to commit to for more than 2 weeks out of the year. So I had some key conversations with some people that I really trust here in Denver, and it became clear that it was time to just start asking questions. And thankfully for me, some of the leadership from the Josiah Venture was here in Denver with us at that same time. And so I got to start having some really cool conversations about what it might look like to go over there for about a year. That was in October of 2017. We kept praying, we kept talking, and in February of 2018, I was offered an internship with the English camp team, and I would get to live in Novatomish, which is where the church that I had partnered with, all 4 of those trips, is located. I would get to work with the English camp team, which is where some of my closest Polish friends work, that same organization. And I would be there for 8.5 months. So I was blown away. I honestly, when I started the conversation, didn't know that English camps would be an option for me. But I prayed about it. I talked to my family and my friends, and I decided that this was the right thing. This is what God had been pointing me towards these last 5 years. And in doing so, I realized that saying yes to Poland meant leaving Mission Hills. And it kind of gave me pause because I love my life here in Denver. I love what God has allowed me to do on staff with Mission Hills these last 6.5 years. And I knew I was going to mourn leaving here. But God is not asking me to wait until things are easy to walk away from. He's asking me to take a massive step in faith and leave a place that I am so happy and go to a place where I get to be used in a new and different way. So that's a really quick synopsis, but I don't want to take up much of your time. If you are interested in praying or partnering with me on this journey, I would love that. I would love to give you more information about it. There's going to be a link in the description of this video where you can learn a little bit more of the detail and the kind of paperwork side of things. But if you have any more questions or you're interested in a little bit more about this journey, then I would honestly love to talk to you about it. I could go on for a while, and I promise I won't. But it's a really cool thing that God is doing in my life, and I would love to share a little bit more about it with you. So, again, thank you for your time, and do widzenia. Oh, I missed the off button. Do widzenia.